Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. As usual, as soon as we start this program, you can pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything. Politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, any issue trending, any topical issue of the day, we speak about it. And today is a very important day under the Catholic calendar. It is Ascension Day, the solemnity of the Ascension of Jesus Christ. Ascension Day, Ascension Thursday, or sometimes you say Holy Thursday. It commemorates the Christian belief of the bodily ascension of Christ into heaven, and is one of the ecumenical feasts of Christian churches, and it ranks with the feasts of the Passion, Pentecost, and Christmas. So it's a very important feast. This whole period is an important period for Catholics. You have Pentecost Sunday, and then you have Trinity Sunday, a very important point. The fact is that the Catholics believe that Christ rose from the dead. After 40 days after Christ resurrected, he ascended into heaven. And they believe that. And it's an important, fundamental aspect of their faith. A Catholic tell you that if you don't believe in that, your faith is in vain. Yes, so you could give us a call on that or any other issue. We have our brothers and sisters in the diaspora and all those who are participating, contributing, or listening to us on YouTube and Facebook and RealFM 91.9. RealFM has been one of the most powerful and effective and impactful radio station operating outside St. George's. It has the longest history in radio outside the tongue of St. George's. So you're welcome. The number to call, 442-0175. The writing is on the wall. Look on the wall and see it. Among us in our community, we have to be concerned about our young men, our youths, our young boys. Perhaps we could well say we have lost. There's not much we could do with the youths. If you're over 20, there is not much you could do. Maybe you could salvage some of them. But some of them we practically lost them. But you could do quite a lot with the children in school. Those between 0 and 16 years. You could do quite a lot with them. You could make the difference. That is where the emphasis have to be in Grenada, to make a difference. Between 0 and 16 years. They leave school, they exit secondary school around 16, 17 years. Children go to school around 12, 10. You spend 13 and a half years in school. And that's the area that is very worrying. When you watch some of the little children, when you observe some of the boys and the children in school, it is worrying. They doesn't seem to be doing well. Some of them are very aggressive, easy to fight, carrying knives in school. They're not involved in groups. And I don't think they are prepared to be competitive in the world of work and in the marketplace. When you go to the government say we're spending a lot of money on education. And I agree. 11% of the GDP of Grenada is spent on education. Our educators, our formal educators, our teachers, they are better trained today than any other time in our history. They are better paid, better qualified. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, good day.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, I like how Christian dealt with the Delma situation. You know, they wish you all the best, in our endeavors, and the thanks for his service and everything. That is very diplomatic. That's very good. That looks more professional, man. But I think one day she go emerge from the transformation trap. Just like a patient, and she catch up herself. She go push herself from the transformation trap. And it amazed me to see that in this modern time, them believing still that some 2,000 year man go up in the sky without aircraft. so I see on that, and I live it, and that in this modern time, man believing that still. But the thing about that, like it, they don't know. They just believe. To believe is the absence of knowledge, the absence of facts, the cost per doubt. That is the people why people believe, because they don't know. They came to play and enjoy it.
Yes, my brother. Two interesting topics, and I want to comment on both of them. The first one is how they deal with the Delmas situation. And I think that's how the party, the professional, the party organization will deal with it. One of the members that they have been with for all these years, it must be a shocker to them. It must be a shocker to them. Because they have been with her, watched her grow in politics, defended her on all grounds in politics when she was attacked, put a cloak around her, encapsulate around her to protect her. And some of the members from the constituency I know would have stoutly defended her. And a lot of them felt let down. The professional party position would be that. We wish you every well, we love you, and we wish you well, and God be with you, Godspeed. Which is supposed to be. But on the ground, some people would be extremely hot, felt disappointed. It came perhaps without warning. The party lost election, and after the party lost election, immediately, the political leader was in the very constituency of that member. In fact, I attended that meeting there, trying to motivate them. You see the pattern. One of the things I heard he say, you see the pattern. We lost 2. We win 1. We'll win 2. We lost 1. You see, we win 2. We lost 1. Trying to show them because they didn't expect to lose. And this NNP wasn't prepared to win. So that loss shocked them. And I think they act with maturity. But the movement by the representative must have been a shocker. It has been a shocker to perhaps a lot of the supporters on the ground in particular. Because some of them defended us stoutly. And it's hard. And that's what happened in politics. And in Grenada, the last time we had well, she don't cross the flow yet. But the last time we had that was I think in 67 or 62 or somewhere. And then we had Miss Nadia Benjamin and Whipple Ned. They seems to have had some running frictions with Eric Gary. They didn't cross the flow. But Eric Gary decided to remove them from the cabinet. And then the friction perhaps seems a little louder. Eric Gary called election. He said, we want a new mandate. So it's a very long time in Grenada that did not happen. So it must come as a shocker. You know, and one of the members that normally show more emotion, she showed more emotion. So it would be a surprise to all of them, irrespective of that face that they put on. It would be a shocker to them. But that is the professional way of dealing it. No hard feelings. We love you. We wish you all the best, and we understand. Politicians have to remember that they go outside. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good evening. Good afternoon.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
I believe Exel Thomas, they cross the floor. When he wins for Gary, he crosses the floor and join NDC.
Yes, at that time, no party, but I think the party agreed. I wonder if the party, they agree with him. Yeah, yes, Exel Thomas went over. Yeah, Exel Thomas. So you'll find these things happening. The NNP has been a party that's winning, and they have been more successful in the polls than any other political party in the history of Grenada. In fact, only the NNP that won all the seats on 3 occasions and beating up the same party. So the movement of their member would be a shocker. I don't think it would unravel the party I don't believe he would make the party weaker, but time will tell. In politics, sometimes it's not easy to predict things, but time will tell. Yes, the next issue you talk about whether people believe it. My brother, religion, people, every race of people believe in some supreme power, supernatural power. Muslims, Christians, and Jews claim the same Father Abraham. Muslims, Christians, and Jews, the same Abraham. So billions of people in the world believe in religion. Then you have the Chinese, they have Buddha. And I think the Indians have Krishna. And you have in Africa, you have a lot of different gods. People always believe in gods. And when Paul and the others were evangelizing, they met some people that believe in different gods. But they also believe the God of the unknown. So they told them the God of the unknown is our God and is the most important God. Some people believe in two gods. So man always believe in something. And I am of that faith too. I believe in the Ascension. I believe in Christmas. I believe in Pentecost. I see elephants. Not in real life, but I see documentary of elephants. Gathering the bones of elephants. And making some sort of moaning noise about it. I see birds flying around. Birds that got injured and died. As if they don't want to live it. Monkeys carry the dead young ones for a long time. So man, all race of people believe in some supreme power. We even have people that believe in devil. They believe in worship the devil. And even some of the individuals who claim that they are atheists, sometimes the level of morality that they ascribe to, I wonder if they are atheists in truth. So we have billions of people, the majority of people in the world believe in some supreme power. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Hello. Good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, I want to know what the cocoa giving. I see a send and sell cocoa. They give me $32.90 over on my bill. What that for? You know?
Well, I thought it was back pay. A man says not back pay. Maybe they give a blight. Maybe people talk about it so much that they decide to give them a blight. They have not provided much explanation. I only heard that some people, when they sell cocoa, they give them money. I don't know what measurement they use, what yardstick. I don't know. But I believe it is based upon what you sell on the day in question and not what you sell for the year. So let us suppose you are somebody who's selling 2,000 pounds of cocoa, but on that particular day you sell 100 pounds. Whatever they give you will be on that 100 pounds. They have not explained the methods. But maybe the Cocoa Association is operating on a need-to-know basis. They have not been very communicative with the press, so I don't know.
But Mr. Pierre, let me tell you, slavery don't finish in Grenada yet. And to me, we farmers are slaves for the GCNA and the Cocoa Association. But it's all right. Let them go ahead. We go eat these crumbs that fall from the rich man table. We're eating the crumbs that fall from the rich man table presently.
Well, yes, scholar, thank you. Well, one of the challenges we have is that we that are doing that to ourselves, not England, not America, not China, not white people, black people that is doing that. The Cocoa Association, most of them are our children. They go to university, they get educated, and they come back and trick the parents and the family. So we can't blame anybody. The members of the cocoa board are our people. The members of the nutmeg board are our people. And they are tricking and deceiving their people. I've said before, I don't care about reparation. If you get money, you get money. Take it, but I don't care about it. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, sir. Evening once again.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
That Edil Thomas saga we had here. You know, there are a lot of people who had a serious problem with it. And I'm talking about, you know, people like Lloyd Noel, because they just didn't want to see what happened at the time happen. Now, it was a confusing moment in time because the NDC, even though they won the most seat at the time, they didn't have a majority. So that they needed to persuade somebody on the other side, at least to get the majority in parliament. So maybe that's why you actually said, in the beginning when the person brought up the issue, he didn't cross the flow. Because at the time there was not a flow yet.
Yeah.
You understand? Because the flow is inside parliament. But what happened is that they needed somebody, at least one person, but Ben Jones was prepared to be with them in any case.
They wanted Ben Jones to lead, you know, Gulp, NNP, and they go to TNP for Ben Jones to, and they would have given Ben Jones the leadership for 3 of them to go. But Ben Jones didn't want to lead.
But Ben Jones for sure did not want Kit Mitchell. And the others didn't want Kit Mitchell, and that was the problem, you know.
I think Ben Jones did not want to lead. Ben Jones did not want to lead. Ben Jones,
but to an extent, yes.
Ben Jones did not want the leadership. So
but
it was.
For sure, he did not want to be.
It was Gulp. It was Gulp that took the initiative and go to Ben Jones. When they understand, when they communicate with NNP said they don't have no problem. But the negotiation was with Ben Jones and Gulp. And they was trying to convince him that they could get NNP on board. But Ben Jones did not want leadership. A lot of people don't know about that about Ben Jones. He did not want to lead.
Well, maybe he was that vibrant kind of person.
No, Ben Jones never. Even when Mr. Blaze handed over the leadership to Ben Jones, he did not want to lead it. Some of the comments that he made with closer ones. So that is when the thing fall through, and then he joined NDC, and Exil I think went over or something like that.
Well, technically, he didn't really join, you know. He just was opposed to Kit Mitchell, and in a case, he didn't have a problem with NDC having the majority, and so he walked along with them. But in the case of Exil, he had to leave and go over. Technically, he crossed the flow, but there wasn't a flow yet.
They make him Minister of Labour.
Till when he acquiesced to going over with NDC, then the Governor General announced that it is my distinct impression that the NDC has the majority. And there was Lloyd Noel, for example, having a serious problem with what happened. And I remember him writing an article in which I wrote a counter article because me and him had a feud going on, where he was saying that the pressure they put on Exil made the man almost a total wreck, you know, the mental strain that was going on him.
Because when the Governor General took the action, they didn't command the majority yet, you know.
No. Understand this, Mr. Pierre, understand this. The only how the Governor General could take that action is because he get distinct impression that there was enough on one side to form a government. So when Exil go over, he made the announcement. It is my distinct impression because that's what Lloyd Noel did not pick up. So when I read Lloyd Noel article, I recognized the nonsense he was talking. I wrote an article countering it, and I pointed that especially in the article, that the Governor General said it is my distinct impression, which is a clear indication that now he has evidence so that he could call upon one person in that party for the leadership, and so he becomes the Prime Minister. He could call on him to come and sign in, as you might say, to be the Prime Minister or swear in.
They ring Exil hand. They ring Exil hand.
They technically
They burn his hand, they ring his hand.
So this is why Lloyd Noel said the man was almost a total wreck.
But I agree with Lloyd Noel then.
I mean, and in the given situation, remember, it was a very tense situation in Grenada at the time, you know.
I agree with Lloyd Noel then.
All that guys were trying to do is to keep Kit Mitchell out. But, Mr. Pierre, let me tell you this. Since, what? Well, Kit Mitchell, I recommended Kit Mitchell to be the Prime Minister of Grenada since in 1983. I was in Trinidad when the war happened, when they killed Bishop and everything. I was due to come back the day after they killed Bishop. Well, I couldn't come again. I put clothes, coffee, whatever. They gave me another month. I was there for a month the first time. And when I came back here, about 2 or 3 days after I came back, you might know the guy, you know, Simon Charles Universali, son. He and I was talking. We always talk politics and this type of thing. And he asked me a question. Who do you think is the best person to come back and take over this country? Before he finished his sentence, I said Kit Mitchell. Not even thinking or knowing, sorry, I didn't say think, not even knowing that Kit Mitchell had intention to come back here and take part in politics. And so said, so done, Kit Mitchell came. I was so happy about that, because I knew Kit Mitchell from since 1972 election. You know,
I only knew his name, I didn't know him.
I knew him to quite an extent. And you remember, there was a manifesto published any time. That a manifesto I cherished until I lost it in a fire a few years ago, not long. So I had that for all the years. And Kit Mitchell came. Kit Mitchell dynamic, fine. But in that particular election there, where Edzil crossover, had that party won the election at the time, I tell people all the time, I have no fear of saying it, because that's me if you know me. But had that party won the election, the most corrupt government this world would have seen, I believe, would have been that government led by Kit Mitchell. Not because Kit Mitchell is corrupt, not because I think Kit Mitchell had some serious corrupt fellas around him, you know. During that time, I have no apology to make to anybody for that, because I knew them guys, I knew what was going on. I knew what was going on inside out.
Okay.
And Kit Mitchell, fortunately, maybe he didn't win the election, because what would have happened?
He won 2 seats. Was he and Malcolm?
No, it's the election after that he won 2 seats.
Well, yes, was he and Malcolm and Twain.
No, they won the rest. He won the rest of the seats, you know. But who was it again? The names are not coming.
Yeah.
But he did partially well. But I was glad he didn't win. Okay. Not that I'm an NDC supporter. Not even I'm an NDC supporter.
But at that time, okay. Well,
and so
that would have been after the demise of when Blaze run.
Yeah. After the demise of Blaze.
It wasn't immediately.
So that's why Ben Jones and then did not want Kit Mitchell in power. Because
I don't think. Caller.
Yeah.
Ben Jones did not want leadership.
Yeah, well,
a lot of people don't know that. Ben Jones did not want leadership.
Of the TNP party.
You don't care who leading, he did not want leadership.
But at least he was the leader of the TNP, ain't it?
Yeah.
And he contested as a TNP leader.
Yeah, he had no choice.
At the time.
Yeah.
And he won his seat. And that was part of the issue.
Okay.
But at least them guys are trying to make sure they keep Kit Mitchell out. Especially the NDC people at the time, Breezen and Francis Alexis and Finley St. Louis, Marcel Peters. But I used to be in Parliament all the time, just about all Parliament at the time. Because Parliament wasn't everyday things. When they have, I go. If I'm not working, I remember I do a free work construction, and so I'm not tied up with government and this kind of thing.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I used to be in Parliament all the time.
Yeah.
So regular. Almost every sitting I'm in Parliament.
Okay.
And the attitude these guys had towards Kit Mitchell, the hatred developed not now, against Kit Mitchell, especially by the NDC people. Marcel Peters and Finley St. Louis were the 2 most vibrant haters in that party against Kit Mitchell. Francis Alexis too. But Francis Alexis was playing games more than them other guys. Them other guys genuinely hate Kit Mitchell. Francis Alexis was a game player to an extent, but he was very strong.
It's difficult for me to speak about these individual personal things, because I tend to look at the politics and the policy and not the relationship between each other. And at that time, I wasn't. I was not paying much attention to the individual attitude towards one another. But anyway, that is healthy discussion for history, man. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, these are a healthy discussion that people could take on all the time. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
I'm the same person. I'm calling back from Union.
Yes.
I just got to know some people from the office came to me yesterday and asked some questions. So watching to see what's going on.
Yes, we've been doing what we could to get them to pay attention to you, and we will continue. So if there is anything positive, you will tell us, right? Yes, we wish you well. And this is one of the yes, thank you. And that is one of the challenge we have in society. When you sit down and speak to members of the National Democratic Congress, they always tell you that the list needs sanitizing. I don't know where they get this word. I don't know where NDC get this word about the list needs sanitizing. It's not a list you're dealing with. You're dealing with people. You ain't dealing with some abstract list. You're dealing with people. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, congratulate Ms. Delma Pierre. I wish her all the best. But I wanted to know that so much people try to pull down that man and they fail. Let her try, fail, but they try, fail, and should always fail the same way. Because Kit Mitchell is a man that inspired by God, a man that has blessings from God. He will always make it. He will always make it at all times. None of them will be able to pull down that man. You know why? Because when Christ, remember when Christ was treading the earth, they asked the people of who they wanted Barnabas, and they get Barnabas. What Barnabas done to them is the same thing what will happen in Grenada here. I wish her all the best on her journey, but tell her she was not able to deceive this man they call Honorable Kit Mitchell, because he's a man that blessed by the Most High God. God look over him all the time, and the people of Grenada will pray for him, and outside Grenada, pray for him because they know he's a man with good heart for the people, and we'll always continue, and we'll always support him. We will be with him side and side. Whatever happens, we will be with him side and side. We will not turn our back on him. Mr. Pierre, have a good day.
Yes, scholar. I think all Grenadians have blessings. Sometimes we don't accept the blessing and develop it. But the strongest point about Dr. Kit Mitchell is his attitude to the people in the lower income group. He seeks the interest. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. Tell the caller is not Delma Pierre, is Delma Thomas. He make a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Pierre is not in that.
Okay.
And yes, Mr. Pierre, no one will put on Kit Mitchell, only God will. So all who want to go against him, God is there for him. So good afternoon, Mr. Pierre, and keep on your program. It's very interesting.
Yeah, but I've not heard Sister Delma Thomas say anything that Kit Mitchell do, you know. She reached a stage where she have issues, but I've not heard her said anything specific that Dr. Kit Mitchell did. So maybe she have her difficulties or challenges and she make a decision and they wish her well. But I've not heard her said anything that Kit did that. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. Yeah, but go right ahead.
Nobody had to pull on the
Caller, your phone breaking up. Or stay close to your phone or something. Caller, pay attention to your phone. Cut out the noise in the back and maybe put your phone close to your mouth because you're breaking up. All right? And call us again because I didn't hear exactly what you say. You there, caller?
Yeah.
Right, so go ahead now. You're having the same problem with the phone.
Nobody am pulling down Mr. Nation. Because he already done. He just fighting to get back on top. And Peter go let go back on top. Can I believe Peter could be the next Prime Minister of this country after he can?
Caller, you like
Peter,
NNP?
David.
You like NNP, caller?
I like it.
Hey, caller, you like NNP? Huh?
Peter David go be next permit.
You like Peter David?
Listen,
You like
yes,
Peter
well,
David, Carla?
I like Peter David policy.
Do you like Peter David? Or you like his policy?
Yes.
Well, you know Peter David, Carla, you know Peter David was in NDC and he come over in NNP. Because
Yes,
Peter
because he came
David Peter David seems to like the policies of the NNP. That's why he come over.
He like, and why you want to leave now?
No, Peter David don't want to leave. You want to leave?
You want to take over the party?
No, man. Peter David don't take over party. Peter David is a member of the NNP party. You remember, Carla, you remember Wizard sing a song and he say inside NDC he have NNP? So you have a lot of people in. So don't surprise to know you join NNP, you know. I find look at you like NNP. Huh?
Peter David wants over the party from Kid Mitchell.
If Peter David turn, Carla, I feel if Peter David turn the leader, you join in NNP, you know.
If Peter,
You go join
turn the
NNP?
leader,
You join in NNP?
I join in no party.
No, I believe you like Peter David. He's a likable person.
I like the politics.
Well,
But
yes,
listen now.
same thing I tell you. So if Peter David end up leading NNP, you go join the party?
No, I'll vote for them, but me join no party.
All
I don't
right.
join no party whatsoever.
All right, okay.
Listen
Yes.
to me now.
Yeah.
Peter David quiet. But you know, he start. I heard that Mitchell going all over the place and having meeting, trying to collect delegates. But them people them already make up their mind. It's Peter David they want.
Well, I tell you,
what they want.
I believe, well, I think Peter David sure on your vote and support. Must take out a party
Let me tell you
card,
something
man. Huh?
Let me tell you something. Peter David and Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell, he raised the poor people back for 23 years. He raised on the poor people.
Caller,
back.
so the NDC, caller, in the last 23 years, NDC was in power?
What? I said.
Was
the
NDC in
past-
power in the last 23 years?
In the last 20 years?
NDC
Yes.
was in power?
Yes.
Well, how it could be the last 23 years NNP then? If NDC was in power between the last 23 years, NNP couldn't be in power for 23 years.
I said NFP ruled this country for 20.
And how much years?
Never said the last 20 years.
How much years NDC ruled the country for? You don't remember? You don't remember they sell 13 pieces of property in Grenada and they were not able to pay bills and the economy was in free fall. You forget that? And they fire them old people from the pay thing. And they take out $10 on the road workers' pay. You don't remember this
And you
thing?
don't put it back.
They didn't put it back.
Put it back.
NDC didn't put it back.
Keep me. Up to now, they were workers getting the same thing.
And NDC come and take out 150 again. And they take out 150 from the LLE again.
They take out 50 and they put on 600 more.
No, they don't do that.
So they,
Caller, your phone giving some problems. What you using, WhatsApp? Caller, you using WhatsApp? Well, I think your WhatsApp kind of breaking up. Yeah, thank you. We have to leave your caller. Your phone breaking up. Yeah. We have to leave this caller because his phone breaking up. You know, interesting conversation, and I believe that he's a man that liked Peter David dearly, and most likely, yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes,
Pierre.
yeah, my brother, welcome.
Tell this man, please, leave NNP alone. Leave
No,
Peter
no,
David.
no, but caller,
Stop
the
causing
man,
problems.
caller, the man liked Peter David. He liked Peter
I
David,
realize he only like Peter David, he like NNP.
yeah, but he
but
liked
don't like Kid Mitchell.
Caller,
That's the problem.
caller, remember, Black Wizard say inside NDC he have NNP.
He's an NNP.
And you have to remember.
We know that.
You have to remember the National Democratic Congress practically tricked people, by telling them lies. So a lot of people that supported the NDC are naturally supporters of NNP. So NNP have to be careful. Your supporters are there.
Peter David don't want to take the party from Dr. Keith.
Yes,
because Peter David have sense. He say he will like to walk along with Mr. Mitchell because
you see,
Peter David know he can't handle Grenada by himself. He must need Keith Mitchell to walk along with him.
One of the problems we have to be more tolerant to people who disagree with us.
Yes, I understand that.
Because I have been in discussion with gentleman. The gentleman always speak about Peter David in a high manner. And he seems to support or prefer Peter David. And why he support Peter David and why he support him is because of the policies that he have, which is all similar to the NNP policy. So we have to have this.
Adopt the NNC policy.
Yeah, because we have to have this open arms.
A lot of people in the NNP party love Peter David, not he alone. I'm a Peter David fan also too.
So let's all be tolerant to one another.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre?
Yeah.
A lot of people like Peter David. I already on the
street, NNP have some powerful supporters. The sister from St. Mark's, Miss Modeste, Emmeline Pierre, Mr. Steele, Oliver Joseph, Delma. Well, Delma has left the party. But all of them are very Yolan Bain, Horsford, and Grenville. All of them are very good individuals.
You leave out one person. You leave out one. Mr. Bowen.
Gregory Bowen, Roland Bowler, Larry Joseph. If you notice, macho, pleasant individuals. That is not hardliners. It's people you could meet and people who are sensitive to the needs of the ordinary man. And that you want in a political
not a
party.
That could wrangle and show down and this
It's a more understanding party, a more sensitive party, a party that empathize and have compassion.
And we have a sensible prime minister.
Yeah.
We have a sensible leader, powerful leader, a man of God, powerful. So tell them, don't grumble with this man.
Well, no. We have to engage discussion. Caller, we have to have discussion. Yeah?
Yes, a lot of discussion, but this man, especially.
No, caller. We have, that is what democracy all about. We can't behave like how NDC behaving. The National Democratic Congress introduced a policy of victimization. We cannot do that.
And hatred.
You can't be like them. And that is what I'm afraid of.
It's a party that hate people. They don't love nobody.
I speak about that.
And Mr. Pierre, the supporters adopt the same behavior.
Caller, if you look sharp, NNP coming just so too,
Who?
I say, if we don't manage this thing correctly, NNP supporters coming just so too,
NDC?
Yes.
No, we don't go in there.
All right.
No,
Okay.
Mr. Pierre.
All right.
I ain't supporting you there at all.
Okay. Well, NDC
supporters couldn't.
Well, caller,
come as NDC supporters.
Caller, I listen.
Mr. Pierre, these people and them, you can't talk,
Caller.
You can't talk. You can't say nothing.
You must be tolerant. Otherwise, that is how the change make. When you hear bitterness and hatred start to spread, it's spreading like wildfire. Because people start to become vengeful. The government introduced restorative justice. That is political vengeance and victimization. So don't tell me, as this thing take root, NNP coming just so?
Yes, the NNC people coming just like that, not NNP. Yeah. The NNP people, when we look at the brand of the NNP people, we are loving people. We take from our leader, we follow our leader.
Caller, if we start to grow intolerant on the radio and we don't want to hear when others disagree with us, what's going to happen on the ground? You see, I am wrong here when I saw 3,000 people go in jail, I saw people pull gun at people. They shut you up. He's a counter-revolutionary. He's a CIA agent. Yes, thank you, caller. We have another call on the line. Caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, my brother.
Afternoon.
Yeah.
When Dr. Mitchell gives anybody the leader,
Dr. Mitchell don't giving people leader.
or why people have to call in and say,
Yeah,
come
the,
in?
the party have a convention, and when the convention come, whoever challenge the leadership and win.
Yeah, but I want to know, well, I hear people saying about who come in.
And that is where people have to remind people
like
that the party have a convention and they have a
It makes me
process.
so I don't care what I'm going to say after when I say what I say. If Dr. Mitchell takes somebody and put inside the party, I don't see where nobody had to come and fight him down for leadership. I don't like it. Trust me. Let Dr. Mitchell say or the convention say. But no people don't go in and say they're taking the leadership.
Caller, what people need to do is to understand the process. You have a process. And in the National Democratic Congress, you cannot challenge the leadership if they are ruling the party and they are prime minister. You can't challenge the leadership. But as far as I heard, the NNP, you could challenge any position anytime. So at any stage in a convention, somebody could get up and say, I'm running for the leadership. And if the delegates vote you in, you are the leader. So you all have to understand the process of your political party. You only adding fuel to the opposition fire. Let them know the NNP have a process.
Dr. Mitchell take out somebody outside and put inside the house. And you don't have to go and stand up in front of Dr. Mitchell. If the people sit down there and Dr. Mitchell retire and somebody say, well, X, Y, Z, but that's what I hear on the ground. And I'm not campaigning for that. I'm not campaigning for that. That's what I say.
All right, caller. Thank you.
Maybe that's what you do, but I don't do it.
Okay, thank you, caller. I'm not a member of the executive. I'm not a member of the party. I don't have a card. I'm in Grenada long, and I know how all the political parties function. I know how all political parties function. Once you have a convention, you could challenge the post. Right now, the National Democratic Congress, you can't challenge the post of Prime Minister because they are ruling. The NNP, you could always challenge the post of Prime Minister. If you feel you could win, you challenge the post. So people have to understand the process at the party. We have the challenge of we have young people in our society. And I always say the writing is on the wall. We must pay heed to what is going on. We have too much of our young men turning vagrants. Our country's population has not increased in any significant way in the last 60, 70, 80 years, in decades. So why is it? We have an increase in the number of young people, particularly men, who seems to be vagrants or borderline vagrants or potential vagrants. We have too much young men in prison. The prison is overpopulated. Why that should be so? We have too much young people in the mental institute. Too much young men in the mental institute. Well, the number of women seems to be increasing too. Some of them is as a result of substance abuse. One might ask how they reach there. But as you go in the villages, it seems that our communities are losing the shoulders to cry on. In every community, you might have a Betty, a LV, a Mary, a Mammy Ann, some woman in the community, her doors was always open to people. Irrespective of how poor they was, they will never leave you pass without giving you something to eat, what they have. Even irrespective of how poor these people were. In our village today, people seems to be in better position, but the most selfish. And then we have the government of the day. And this is my serious concern. That is entrenching a policy of victimization for no genuine reason. The government has not given us economic reasons. Why is it they remove $150 from the pay of the elderly? They have not given any economic justification. Every time you ask them, they blame the previous government for not making it permanent, when they know this is not something you make permanent. So they blatantly telling lies. I hold the government in sheer contempt for that attitude. When you have a government that establishes hostility against the elderly, the physically challenged, and disadvantaged children in the country, it serves as a catalyst for individual people to escalate their hostile attitudes towards these people. Normally, you could find people treating the weak very badly. But when you government of the country establish it as the modus operandi, as the thing, as a policy, they operate in that way, then you're going to find massive escalation of that. You now are younger, but by the time you start to go into the partial launch in the next few years, it will be worse. We have a number of elderly men that was beaten in the land. One of them was from St. Patrick's. He received quite a lot of wounds, cutlass wounds in his land. The last time I spoke to him, he told me the police and all abandoned him. The case don't come to court yet. Months now. And he said the police abandoned him. We had the incident with no more being stoned in his land. We have the government come in and a level of hostility towards the elderly. The government removed their money in the most hostile manner. They had some people, a few of them, shedding tears in the street. And the government is using the most obscene and unacceptable excuse to justify the criminal action. If the attack on the elderly, it is not a crime, I don't know what it is. I have not heard one minister of government, not one, give an economic reason why they remove $150 from the elderly and the physically challenged. We had this sister from Union crying out in the wilderness. She called today again. She said they visit her. But there are a number of people that don't cry. They don't say anything. The woman from Paraclete, she never shed tears. When I visited her, she laughed. She said she paid Provident Fund. When the revolution come, she did not get anything from Provident Fund. She said, but God watching over me. In 1990, when the National Democratic Congress fired the workers from the agriculture estate, the private estate fired them. The private estate used that excuse to get rid of them. The Gary Union then was so weak that it was even struggling to pay the money they're supposed to pay TUC to sit in the meeting. So these people was unrepresented. And years after, when the NDC promised to give them $400, the NDC removed them from the program. And when I went there, she was still smiling. I've never seen somebody with such grace and peace. She had 14 children. Only one of them went to secondary school and did not do so well. Her toilet was on the outside. Yes, caller, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
How are you today?
Great, man.
To give God thanks for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Pierre, when I sit down and I look back, since this new NDC will take over office, everything is out of order. The Parliament House is out of order, no order in the house. They don't reading no minutes. They don't praying, nothing in order. They don't respect their position. They don't respect the elderly. They take all the 150 from the elderly. When you go now in this line and they paying you, especially if it's a young person, how they flinging the money on the counter, give the elderly, how they treating the elderly with this horrible face and look and laughing in a kind of way like you is a laughing stock. Everything is out of order. Like they vex with you for turning an elderly, like they think they're going to stay young all the days of their life. No love, no passion, no unity. Everybody you touch their face, vex. If you bounce them, if they bounce you, have to tell them sorry.
No, you have to tell them sorry quick.
Yeah. So, Mr. Bial, I'm saying, everything is out of order. The Prime Minister, he don't even respect the office. He break all the rules, he break all the law, he break all the Constitution. I don't know what he take the oath to the Bible for. And when he go and he come back, he never put to the house what he received, what he went and do. Is a need to know basis. So when you know is when you're on your doorstep or down in your throat already choking you. So all we have to say, we have to hope and pray that God changed things. This man and them can't change it. They change it to what they want already. With this restorative justice, we paying for what we don't even know. So maybe
Yes,
like you speaking and they might listen to you one of these days.
Yeah,
Because you don't have no betterment, nothing better to come with this government. Nothing. Thank you.
Yes, caller, thank you. We have to continue to speak. Because you see, maybe the government don't realize what they're doing. When the government of the day implement a policy of victimization, and the government is so insensitive to the weak ones in the society, this serves as a catalyst for individuals to take advantage on people. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, this kind of talk, we need action, you know.
Caller, this
we
thing
need
is...
action. It's kind of
Caller, that is what happened to us, you know.
We need action.
This problem is a mental problem, you know. It creeps in our society. For over 7 years, you had people on radio cussing the church. They're cussing everybody. They've been very disrespectful to everybody, and people didn't object to that behavior. So now it become entrenched in a new breed of NDC supporters. They believe they have to get more money, otherwise they go get corrupt. So all the elderly people that was living in the society, poor people that was preaching honesty, now a group of people that comes and tell you, I cannot be honest because I don't working for enough money. So we are creating our own cesspit. And we have to speak about it and make the change. Parents taught their children to be honest.
Mr. Pierre speaking, those we have to
we have to put action in front too. Not only speak, action we want. We need action. Thank you, Mr. P.
Yes, and I think the action you need is a mental change. So maybe this is what needs to happen. We have a government that comes in power that believe the government coffers is the place for them to shop. As soon as they reach in government, they took $2,000 on the pay and they say they can't work for that because they have to guard against corruption. They're using the government coffers as a supermarket. They're employing themselves and a few of their friends. They set up a committee now to raise their salary more. They remove money from the elderly, the physically challenged, and even disadvantaged children in school. That should be of concern. The president of the teachers union was calling out for workers to be fired from another union. I don't know if he have ever reported to the other union the challenges he had with these union workers. I don't know if he ever reported to TUC, an umbrella body to solve the problem. He gone in the public attacking another union. These are the danger signs in your society. That is when your society starts to deteriorate from within. Somebody that is sick and physically challenged and was on our assistant program for the last 9 years have to be begging in the public. One minister taking a picture with a guy that is physically challenged because he helped him. That is where we reach. These things have to change. You know, and we believe that this is a topic that we have to continue to discuss. We cannot be insensitive to the needs of the people who are challenged, the elderly people, sick people, disadvantaged people, and low-income group people. And this is where our program ends for the week. Tomorrow we on with the extension. And we do hope you join us tomorrow. But thank you for being with us today on Target. Tomorrow.